When people were saying when Ryan Garcia went down against Tank Davis, and people were saying he quit, I'm like, have you ever been hit there before?
Oh.
Yeah, it's everything just is happening.
Where does my love for the liver shot come from?
Yeah.
And I out there put my reputation online, had everybody thinking I was crazy. But at the end of the day, who's the crazy one now?
Joe Rogan has just reacted to Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney, giving his bold perspective on the recent showdown. Meanwhile, Eddie found himself embroiled in a rather unusual and heated exchange of words with Garcia's father following Haney's loss. Victor's father strolled past and shouted in Haney's direction, "That's what you get. You're a bit of a shock." Hearn fired back, "Oh, really you? What are you talking about?" Hearn had entered the arena with unwavering faith in Haney's ability to maintain his flawless professional streak. Yet he found himself reluctantly acknowledging Garcia's prowess after witnessing his performance. However, during a post-fight interview session for Matchroom Boxing, Garcia Sr. abruptly interrupted. His thoughts were abruptly disrupted by the untimely intrusion of Garcia Sr. Garcia Sr. then bizarrely grabbed his private parts before continuing from down the corridor. "Who have you got?" "Luke Campbell and Devin Haney." His response was that Swift cited the newly crowned welterweight champion, Jaron Ennis, who had just signed a deal with Matchroom Boxing. Surprisingly, this simple mention seemed to dissipate the tension, prompting Garcia Sr. to approach Hearn, extending his hand in apology for his earlier outburst.
How about Pitbull?
You know he's good. Jaron Ennis is good.
They're all good.
Respect. It was a good performance.
Sorry.
I know you're emotional.
Man, sorry.
Listen, it's a sport. When you win,
I know,
I'll
but
give you all the respect in the world.
Okay, give Ryan the respect.
I just told him.
You did?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is how we work.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I respect you. I accept your apology.
Thank you.
As Garcia's father forged questionable alliances with his rivals, promoter Garcia himself reveled in his victory, documenting every moment for his followers on social media. He shared a video of himself enjoying a cigar with his entourage.
Haney Pat. Yeah, Haney Pat. Yo, Bill, where you at, Bill? Yeah, Bill.
Ryan Garcia seemed to smoke marijuana in celebration of his incredible victory over Haney the American. He was laid back in the video, as the caption had it, as he lounged with a few pals in what appeared to be a pub. As he took in the festivities, Garcia was spotted blowing on what appeared to be cannabis smoke. Later, he was heard chuckling and saying,
New York, man, where we at?
Oh, yeah, what they say?
Easy.
Cali Nights, I hate from.
Oh, bro, you clowning, bro. We chilling.
Yeah, that.
Right after the fight,
And he
though.
trying to act like it's all good. No, it ain't good. Them.
Hey, where's Mike at? Mike Tyson, come through.
Right. So I'm come blow.
We hot boxing. Yeah, that.
He then took to X to taunt Haney for his endorsement deal with Prime Energy Drink. Garcia shared a picture of Haney wearing a sparkly Prime chain and said, "This is why you don't drink Prime, but respect Haney for getting up every time." Garcia then added, "I know people are so mad. Imagine just a guy that trolled nonstop, beats a P4P fighter, and then is just chilling. Bro, that's hilarious." In another post, he wrote, "Honestly, I was just hurt, and that's why I became so mean. I will make every effort not to be petty. It's so difficult not to be, but I'm fine." Notably, his post-fight behavior was nothing compared to his pre-fight antics for an extended period. Garcia portrayed himself as unhinged and erratic in every conceivable manner, prompting pundits to openly ponder whether he was mentally fit to step into the ring, or if the powers that be were prioritizing profit over human welfare. As it turns out, these assessments were grossly off the mark. Astonishingly, yet despite the success of his deception, it doesn't necessarily warrant an apology from us to Garcia. It was a tactic so bold that it left boxing aficionados fearing its replication, yet despite its brazenness, it undeniably yielded results. Garcia said after the fight about his tics, "I was just having fun. You know, I'm going through a lot. I went through a divorce. Just a lot has been happening to me in my outside life. I did what I felt I needed to do to feel okay," speaking after his victory. Garcia had said, "Come on guys, you really thought I was crazy. I walked through the fire and still held it down. and still beat Devin Haney. And I still drank every day. And I beat him. And I smoked with the even if a large portion of that overreaction will probably be unjustified, especially given how little attention is still paid to the chin and heart Haney displayed against Garcia. The arguments for this kind of thinking are already clear. No matter how mentally unstable Garcia was, Haney was supposed to handle him easily. He didn't harm or slow him down all that much before showing how fortunate he was to survive. As the last bell rang, Haney said after the fight, "He caught me early when I was sleeping on him. He caught me by surprise. I fell asleep on the left hook. We trained for it. But I got in there, and I fell asleep. And he caught me with it. I was more surprised than hurt. I wasn't really that hurt." However, Devin Haney has demanded a rematch from Ryan Garcia. Before falling on the scorecards, Haney was dropped 3 times, marking his first professional loss. Garcia failed to capture the WBC super lightweight title when he weighed in under the 140 pounds limit on Friday. As long as he has the chance to resolve the series with Garcia, Haney will remain the champion. Haney said she would love a rematch. "I gave him a chance. It's only right. He gives me a second chance. He didn't make weight, so I'm still the champion. We can run it again." Meanwhile, despite boxing fans' doubts that Garcia could defeat Haney, particularly after his previous loss to Javon Davis, UFC color commentator Joe Rogan defended the 25-year-old Vaughn. Davis defeated Ryan Garcia in April of last year, extending his winning run to 29 bouts. In the 7th round, he tanked King Rai with a body shot, ending the bout. Fans on social media following that fight continued to discuss Garcia's surrender after being knocked down, saying that Davis's victory was too simple. Davis even warned his next opponents with an example from his victory over the 25-year-old. However, Joe Rogan held a different opinion and highlighted the knockout blow to conclude the boxing contest in an installment of the Joe Rogan Experience, featuring UFC icon Bass as a guest. Rogan dove into Davis' devastating liver shot, which landed on Garcia. The liver was awful. Joe Rogan stated that he even agreed with the longtime UFC commentator and said that it's the worst.
First Thai boxing class, getting dropped by a liver shot. And I was training with a Class A fighter already, pro, and he figured me out really fast. And he dropped me with a liver shot, and I remember asking him, I go, "What is this?"
It's terrible.
I went home, I spent 3.5 hours in front of a mirror. 3.5 hours. My wife said, "You're insane, only this." I was not going to drop my hands anymore. And the next day I went back to the class and I just cleaned 85% of the gym out. And they go like, they thought I played a joke on them. I go, "No, I spent 3.5 hours in front of the freaking mirror. That was not gonna happen."
He went on to mention how Ryan Garcia was being criticized by fans for quitting up in the 7th round. However, Joe Rogan asserted that once those individuals were in the right, they would comprehend the agony of liver bullets. He added, "Oh my God, people were saying when Ryan Garcia went down against Tank Davis, and people were saying like he quit, like, have you ever been hit there before?" In the meantime, Ryan Garcia feels he could have achieved a knockout against Devin Haney instead of just winning by majority decision. He partly blames referee Harvey Doc for this missed opportunity. While Garcia didn't openly complain about the referee's role, he conceded that securing a knockout would have been even more satisfying, especially as it would have been Haney's first professional loss. He said at the end of the day, Harvey Doc, "I think he was tripping. He should stop that fight. It was bad. Haney was really hurt. I felt bad. I even looked at Bill Haney. I said, 'Bro, you should probably stop this.' He didn't, and that's it." Garcia began the fight impressively with a powerful left hook in the first round that unsettled Haney. He continued to showcase his dominance by knocking Haney down 3 times during the fight, securing his victory. The knockdown in the 7th round created a stir in the arena. However, Garcia's lead on the scorecards was quickly diminished when referee Doc penalized him for throwing punches after Haney signaled for a break. Garcia feels that instead of being penalized, he should have been allowed to continue until he could definitely knock Haney down. He said, "The guy was holding me for dear life. I saw an opportunity to keep swinging while my hands were free, and I cracked him. Doc took a point away when I cracked him, but he held me. I should have knocked him out in that 7th round." but they stole that from me. Garcia admits that the referee's decisions left him perplexed during the fight. Despite the penalty Garcia pressed for in the 10th and 11th rounds, he managed to knock Haney down 2 more times, securing the victory. Reflecting on his performance, Garcia considers that he might have exceeded expectations. However, his relentless determination to outshine Haney became his primary focus, which in the end proved to be his downfall. He said that was crazy. I've never seen someone like that. He was holding him, and I punched him. He was hurt, and I was like, yes, done. Oh, point taken. Garcia is also firm in his belief that he pushed through his training camp successfully, even with frequent drinking, and still came out on top. He expressed indifference to people's opinions about him. Garcia maintained that, despite his challenges, he confronted them directly and defeated Devin Haney.
I don't even really want to say this, but it's the truth. You know, everybody needs to acknowledge, like, yo, I'm tripping. Y'all was tripping, not me. You guys were tripping. I was the one that was actually with sanity, because I'm like, yo, they're hurting little kids. Let's help them. That's called being a real man. Because I don't give a what people say about me.
That's right.
I walked through the fire and still held it down and still beat fucking Devin Haney and still drank every day and still beat him.
Overall, the aftermath of the Garcia versus Haney fight has been nothing short of dramatic. From Joe Rogan's insightful commentary to Eddie Hearn's heated exchange with Garcia's father, emotions ran high both inside and outside the ring. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen.